Hello and welcome to EduSathi. Let's continue the topic of algebra and we'll now discuss about linear equations. I believe that you have already gone through the first lecture of algebra, which was the topic of algebraic expressions and polynomials. If you have not gone through this, I would request you at this stage to please go and first visit that lecture so that you have a better understanding of lecture 2. So let's start with linear equations. Linear equations, as I've already explained you in chapter 1 as well, is an equation of degree 1. So the highest power of any variable is 1, whereas the number of variables can be as much as you want. It could be a linear equation with one variable. It could be a linear equation with 2 variables, with 3 variables, or so on. But the highest power of any number of variables has to be 1. We'll start with linear equations in 1 variables for the time being. So linear equation in 1 variable, this is what it looks like. So it will be something like ax equal to b. Now x is a variable that I have. The power of this variable would be 1. A is the coefficient that I have for this, and b is a constant that I have on the right hand side. So this is what a general equation for a linear in 1 variable looks like. It will be ax equals to b, or ax equals to a constant. So 2x plus 7 equals to 17. I can write it as 2x equal to 10. So if I solve it out, the value of x would come out to be equal to 5. In 1 variable, actually a variable turns out to be a constant. So if it's a linear equation in 1 variable, the variable actually will turn out to be a constant thing that you have. If you have to express it on the number line, the value of x would actually be equal to 5. So this will be the point that you will have, which will actually be a constant thing on a number line that extends from minus infinity to plus infinity. Let's look at some of the questions based upon linear equations in 1 variable. You have 3x plus 15 is equal to x plus 25. So bring all x on one side. So this will be 3x minus x and all the constants on the other side, because you have to get it into a general form, which is ax equals to b. So 3x minus x, which is 2x, and this will be 10. The value of x that comes out to be is a constant that you have. Again, on a number line extending from minus infinity to plus infinity with 0 in the middle, x is equal to 5 will be represented by a point. Let's look at another question. Linear equation in 1 variable is very simple. So if you just open the brackets, 8x minus 24 minus 6 plus 2x is equal to 2x plus 4 minus 25 plus 5x. So you just cancel out the terms which can be cancelled out, and otherwise you bring all the terms of x on one side and all the constants on the other. So it will be 8x minus 5x, which will be 3x on this side, and on the other side this 24 and 6 will actually get added up. So this will be 4 plus 6 minus 25 plus 24. So you can just look at the values 10, and this will give you minus 1, which will be 9, and 3x is equal to 9. The value of x that will come out to be would be 3. Again, on a number line extending from minus infinity to plus infinity with 0 in the middle, x is equal to 3 would be represented by a point. Now let's move to linear equation in 2 variables. 2 variable means the 2 variable that we'll be talking about would be x and y. The general expression for this would be ax plus by is equal to a constant, which is c. On the right hand side, what you have is always a constant. So ax plus by equals to c. Here x and y are the 2 variables that we have, and a and b refer to the coefficients of those variables. However, the power of the variable would always be 1. The degree of this equation always have to be 1. So this is how a general equation of a linear expression in two variable will look like. Ax plus by is equal to c, which is a constant. Let's look at an example. The example is x plus 2y is equal to 6. So the coefficient of x is 1, the coefficient of y is 2, and the constant term that you have is 6. Linear equation in two variables, if I draw graphically, would be a line on the xy axis. So if I look at the xy axis and I plot the points, I will get a straight line. This straight line would extend till infinity. So this will extend till infinity. Now look at it. How to draw a line? X plus 2y is equal to 6. An easier way is, once put x is equal to 0, the value of y that satisfies this equation would be 3. Once put y is equal to 0, the value of x that satisfies this would be 6. Now what you do is, you take the coordinate axis. Coordinate axis, I hope you can understand. This will be x-axis positive, this will be x-axis negative, y-axis positive and y-axis negative. Plot the 2 points, 0, 3. So when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 3, the point will be here. When x is equal to 6, y is 0, the point will be somewhere here. Now if you join the 2 points and extend them till infinity, you get the line. This is what it will look like. So I have joined the 2 points. This is the point which I have 0, 3, and this is the point that I have as 6, 0. I join the 2 points with a straight line, extend them till infinity. I get the graphical representation of a line x plus 2y equals to 6. This is how the graph of x plus 2y equals to 6 looks like. Now this graph is a linear graph. It's a linear equation. It's a line graph that can be extended till infinity. Extended till infinity. Now this graph for a linear equation will never ever bend. It will never have a bend in the graph. It will be the same line or it will be the same slope. Slope is the inclination, same slope that will continue till infinity. Never ever it will bend. So you need only 2 points to draw a line. 2 points to plot and draw a line. How would you get that 2 points? Once put x is equal to 0, get the value of y. Once put y is equal to 0, get the value of x. You plot these 2 points, join them, you will get a line which is actually the line representing x plus 2y equal to 6. Now if I look at every point on this line, this point, this point, this point, this point, every point on this line is satisfying this equation and therefore will be a solution to this line. So if you look at it from infinity to infinity, there will be infinite number of points that will be satisfying this equation, and therefore there are infinite real solutions that you have for this line. For a single line, there are infinite solutions that you have. This equation or this has infinite many solutions. Every point, this point, this point, this point would be satisfying the equation of the line, and a point which is satisfying the equation of this line will be known as solution to this line. So the point will always be written as xy. This will be the x coordinate, this will be the y coordinate. So if I write 0, 3 or 6, 0, that means x is 6 and y is 0 for this point. Now, the next thing is how to calculate the slope of this line. Slope is given by minus coefficient of x over coefficient of y. That means it will be equal to minus a by b. The slope refers to the inclination of the line. So, inclination towards the positive direction of x-axis. So, if I look at it, this is the angle that it makes with the positive direction of x-axis. This will be termed as theta. Now, the slope of the line represented by m will be given by tan of the angle that it makes with the positive direction of x-axis and is calculated as minus a by b, or negative coefficient of x over coefficient of y. That is the value of slope for this line. Let's look at some of the questions that we have for linear equations in two variables. 6 years ago, Ben's age was thrice the age of John. So if you look at it, this is 6 years ago. You can take your reference point today, or you can take your reference point as 6 years ago, whatever you feel comfortable. So let me take the reference point in today's, because I want to find the present age of both Ben and John. Let me take the present age of Ben as x and present age of John as y. 6 years ago. So Ben, if I am talking about 6 years ago, Ben would be x minus 6, John would be y minus 6. Ben's age was thrice the age of John. So this was Ben's age. This age was thrice the age of John. This is one equation that I've got. So if I just solve this out, what I get? X minus 6 is equal to 3y minus 18. I can bring the terms on one side. So the equation that I'll have, x minus 3y is equal to minus 18 plus 6. So this will be equal to minus 12. This is the equation that I get from the first situation. Let's look at the second situation, and 6 years after. 6 years after means I'm talking about from today, 6 years after, Ben will be x plus 6. And what about John? John is y today. So after 6 years, he'll be y plus 6. Ben will become twice the age of John. So Ben will be twice the age of John that I will have. If I just open this up, this will be equal to 2y plus 12. So just solve this thing out. I'll have x minus 2y is equal to plus 6. Writing it here, x minus 2y is equal to plus 6. This is the equation that I've got from the second situation. I have to solve for x and y. Now to solve for x and y, I will add or subtract these two equations. So if I just look at these two equations and I subtract them, x gets cancelled out. So subtracting means minus 3y plus 2y, it will be minus y equals to, again subtracting, minus 12 minus 6, so it will be minus 18. The value of y we get as 18. Who is y? Y is John. So that means the present age of John is 18 years. You put it in any of the equation you like. So I like second equation. I put the value of y here and I'll get the value of x as 2y plus 6. So you'll get the value of what? You'll get the value of Ben by putting it into another equation and adding 6 to it. So I hope you have solved it till now. The age of Ben comes out to be 42 years. So Ben is 42 years as of now and John is 18 years as of now. These are the present ages that you have. If you want to check your answer, you can always check your answer. Ben 6 years ago would have been what? 36 years? And John would have been for 12 years. 12 into 3 is 36. Perfect. After 6 years, Ben will be 48 and John will be 24. This is 24 into 2, 48. Perfect. So your answers are correct. Let's look at question number 2. The sum of a 2-digit number and the 2-digit number obtained by interchanging the digits of the number is 33. Find the numbers. Now, if you have gone through the chapter on number system, you would easily understand this. Let me suppose the number is xy. How I write the number is 10x plus y. The number formed by reversing the digits would be yx and would be written as, in a number place value thing, 10y plus x. So the question is saying that sum of a 2-digit number and a 2-digit number obtained by interchanging the digits. So I will add this and I will add this. This is what? 33. So this will be 11x plus y, 33. So that means x plus y would be equal to 2. X plus y would be equal to 3. If the sum of the digits is 3, the number would satisfy this criteria. So let's look at the number. 2-digit number is what I have to look at it. So if I take the value of x as 2 and y as 1. So the number would be 21 and formed by reversing the digits would be 12. They'll add up to give you 33. Perfect. Now if you take x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 0, the number would be 30 and if I reverse it, it will be 03. Now this is not a 2-digit number. So the only case that I will have is find the numbers. It will be 21 and 12. It will not be 30 because when you reverse it, it will give you 03, which is not a 2-digit number. And it is clearly stating that a 2-digit number formed by interchanging. Let's look at the third question on linear equation in 2 variable. A wallet contains only 25 paisa and 10 paisa coins. The total amount in the wallet is rupees 8.25. If the number of 25 paisa coins is 1/3 the number of 10 paisa coins, find the total number of coins in the wallet. So let me assume that there are x 25 paisa coins and y 10 paisa coins. Right? And it is saying the number of 25 paisa coins, so that means x is 1/3 the number of 10 paisa coins. So number of 10 paisa coins, this is 1/3. So the value of y would be 3x. The question is asking me the total number of coins. So it will be x plus y. It will be x plus y is again 3x. I have to find the value of 4x. This is what I have to find. Let me form the equation. The total amount in the wallet is 825. Now, the number of coins are x. The value of each coin is 25 paisa. So the total value is the number into the value of each coin. Plus, the number of coins are y and the value of each is 10 paisa. So this will be the total value. Adding up the total value. So if you look at it, your right hand side is in paisa. Your left hand side is in paisa. The right hand side would also be converted into paisa. So I'll put the value of y as 3x. I will have 25x plus 30x, which is 55x is equal to 825. So dividing 825 with 55 would give me the value of x, which is coming out to be 15. That means the number of 25 paisa coins are 15. So the number of 10 paisa coins would be 15 into 3, which is 45. I need to find the total number of coins, which will be 4 times this, 60. So there are total of 60 coins that I have, out of which 50 are 25 paisa coins and 30 are 10 paisa coins. 45 are 10 paisa coins with the total amount amounting to 8 rupees and 25 paisa. Let's look at the fourth question on linear equation in 2 variables. How many integral solutions does the equation 2x plus 3y equals to 12 have such that x is between 30 and 10? Now if you go back to what we have talked about linear equation has infinite number of solution, because every point on the line would be satisfying the equation of the line. Here I can count the number of integral solution because a range is given to me. Had the range not been given to me in the question, my answer would have been infinite for this question. Before moving on to the question, let me draw a graph for this. So 2x plus 3y is equal to 12. I need 2 points. One, I'll put x is equal to 0. The value of y is 4. Once I'll put y is equal to 0, the value of x is 6. Now, if I draw the coordinate axis and plot the points, so this will be 0, 4 that I have, and if I just extend this, this will be 6, 0 that I have. Now if I join these 2 points and extend them till infinity, this will be the graph for the equation 2x plus 3y equals to 12. It will have infinite number of solutions. However, in a situation given to me, I can find out the count of integral solutions. Integral means both x and y have to be integers. None of them can be in fractions. So let's start with it. I've already got one value of x and y. I've got two values in fact. So I'll start with x and y. Now I want the value in the range x between 10 and 30. Now the next point of x, if you look at it, x will be positive, but the value of y that you will get would be coming out to be negative. Now the next values, if I have to calculate, I will not keep on randomly putting the values of x and getting the answers. If I put the value of x as 7, the value of y would not come out to be an integer. You put the value of x as 7, it will be 14 on this side, which will be minus 2. The value of y would be minus 2 by 3, which is not an integer. If you put x is equal to 8, again it will not be an integer value of y that will come out to be. So if you look here at the equation and look at the coefficients of the other variable, x would increase with the coefficient of other variable, which is y, which will be 3. So the next x value that will satisfy would be 9, and y would decrease with the coefficient of other variable, which is what? 2. The value for y would be minus 2. The next value of x would be 12. It will be 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30 and so on. So for all these values of x which are between 10 and 30, the value of y could be calculated as what? Minus 4, minus 6, minus 8. I need not calculate them because that is not asked to me. I just have to count. So my answer would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. How many integer solutions? There are 6 integer solutions that I have for the equation in this range. An important thing to consider is, once you know one point, this point has to be found out by hit and trial. So once you know one integer point, the next points can be found out with the coefficients of the other variables. Now if you look at the slope of this graph can also be found out as minus coefficient of x over coefficient of y. The slope would come out to be negative because the angle that it makes is an obtuse angle. So if the angle is obtuse, the slope is negative. Had the angle been an acute angle, the slope of this equation would have been positive. So very important thing to consider is x and y will increase or decrease with the coefficient of other variable. Now how will you decide between increase and decrease? Look, Here 2x plus 3y is equal to constant. If the sum of two things is constant, if one will increase, the other will have to decrease. So if the value of x is increasing, the value of y would obviously decrease. In another case, if it would have been 2x minus 3y, that means the difference of two things is coming out to be constant. Difference is constant. That means if one increases, the other would also have to increase to maintain the constant difference. Let's look at the concept of simultaneous linear equations. Simultaneous means I am looking at two linear equations at the same time. Simultaneously, two equations are what we are looking at. So let's look at the question. The question is, these are two linear equations that you have. So the first linear equation would be a1x plus b1y is equal to c1. The second would be a2x plus b2y is equal to c2. I can graphically draw this. It will have infinite many solutions. I will graphically draw this. It will have infinite many solutions. Simultaneous equation means solving them at the same time for a common solution. Common solution, that means, is there a solution that satisfies line 1 and line 2 at the same time? Standalone, this has infinite and this has infinite many solution. But is there a common solution that we have that we can put and look at both the equations? So if I have to solve this, the method of solving is make the coefficients equal, add or subtract the equations to get to the value. So if I look at first equation and second equation, if I multiply this equation with 2, what do I get? 2x plus 8y is equal to 72. Now if I subtract the two equations, if I subtract, I'll write this equation as 3. If I subtract equation 1 from 3, 2x plus 8y equal to 72, 2x plus y is equal to 20. 2x will get cancelled out. I'll have 7y is equal to 52. So the value of y I can calculate as 52 by 7. Putting this value back in any of the equation that you like, you will solve for the value of x. So how we solve the two equation is, you look at the coefficients of the two equation, try to make the coefficients for either of the variable same, and then solve the two equations for the value of the two variables. You can also make, if I look at x plus 4y is equal to 36, I can multiply this equation with 4. I'll get 8x plus 4y is equal to 80. Now what I've done is, I have cancelled out y here. Minus 7x equal to. So I'll get the value of x from this case, which turns out to be again equal to 44 by 7. So this is the value of x and this is the value of y that you can look at from the equations. Now the equation is 3x minus 2y equals to 12. Again, this is one equation. a1x plus b1y equals to c1 has standalone infinite solutions. I can draw the graph of this equation also. I can find out the slope of this also. Slope is minus coefficient of x over coefficient of y. The slope is coming out to be positive. That means this graph will make an acute angle with the positive direction of x axis. Now if I have to draw the graph for 3x minus 2y equals to 12, I'll once put x is equal to 0. I'll get the value of y as minus 6. I'll put y is equal to 0. I'll get the value of x as 4. So if I look at the coordinate axis, draw the points 0 and minus 6. This will be the point 0 and minus 6. And the next point would be 4 and 0. Now, if I try joining these 2 points and extending them, this is the graph for the line 3x minus 2y is equal to 12. The angle that it makes with the positive direction of x-axis would be an acute angle with slope m, which is equal to 3 by 2. If I look at another line simultaneously, which is 2x, the line that I am looking at is 12x minus 8y is equal to 24. If I again look at the slope of this line, which is minus coefficient of x over coefficient of y, it is again coming out to be 3 by 2. So the slope of these two lines is coming out to be same slope. If I try to draw the graph also here, I put x is equal to 0. The value of y that I'll get 24 by minus 8. The value of y that I try to get comes out to be 24 by minus 8, which will be what? Minus 3. If I put y is equal to 0, the value of x that it comes out to be is coming out to be 2. If I try to draw the same line on the same graph, 0 and minus 3, so this will be the point which will be here, and the other will be 2 and 0. So this will be the point that you'll have here, 2, 0 and 0 and minus 3. Now if you will try to draw this line and extend them till infinity, what you will look at is the two lines that you have are actually parallel lines. They will never ever intersect. They will never intersect. And if they don't intersect, there is no common solution that I can have for both the lines simultaneously. So the first thing that you need to remember is parallel lines have same slope. So if the slope was coming out to be same, I will call it as parallel lines, and they would never intersect. So there is no common point which is satisfying the equation of line 1 and line 2 simultaneously. So if I have to write an equation of a parallel line, I would write it like a1x plus b1y is equal to c2. Now these two lines would be considered as parallel lines because their slopes are same. Slope means the coefficient is same, but the constant terms would come out to be different. So there, if you look at two lines simultaneously, there are three types of answers which are possible: infinite many solutions, no solution, and unique solution. We have already discussed the case of no solution when the lines that you have are parallel lines. Parallel lines are the lines which have same slope. So let's look at the two set of lines: a1x plus b1y equal to c1 and a2x plus b2y equals to c2. Now these two lines can be either parallel. When will they be parallel? When the slope is same. The slope m1, I will write it as minus a1 over b1. The slope of line 2, which will be denoted by m2, will be minus a2 over b2. If the slopes are same, that means minus a1 over b1 is equal to minus a2 over b2, the lines would be parallel. But the thing that I need to look at is c1 and c2 are not same in that case. If they are same, it will no more be a parallel line. In fact, it will come out to be a line which is a coincident line. We'll discuss it. Let's look at the case of infinite many solutions. Infinite many solutions are obtained if the two lines that you get are coincident. Coincident means one line falls above the other. That means if you draw the first line, it is coming out to be this. You draw the second line, it is also coming out to be the same line. Every point on line 1 will also satisfy the equation of line 2. So it will be the case where there will be every solution for line 1 satisfying the equation of satisfying the equation of line 2. So I will have infinite many solutions. How will it look like? A1 over A2 equals to B1 over B2 equals to C1 over C2. That means the line would be something like 3x plus 2y equal to 6 and 6x plus 4y equals to 12. That means if I find out the slope, it will be minus 3 by 2 minus 3 by 2, and the constant terms are also in the same ratio. So if A1 over A2 is equal to B1 over B2 equals to C1 over C2, the two lines are coincident and I'll have infinite many solutions. No solutions when the lines are parallel. There's no such point on line 1 which satisfies the equation of line 2. Parallel line means only slopes are equal. So if I just write this, I write A1 over A2, I'm just cancelling this sign and cross multiplying, is equal to B1 over B2 but not equal to C1 over C2. So it will be an equation something like 3x plus 2y equals to 6 and 6x plus 4y equals to 8. So the second equation is not a multiple of the first equation. Here the second equation is actually k times the first equation. So if the lines are parallel, I'll have no solution. And the third being a unique solution. Unique means if their slopes are not equal. I'll just cancel the minus sign and rearrange the terms. So if their slopes are not equal, one line is this, another line is this, they will definitely intersect at one point, and this one point will satisfy the equation of line 1 and line 2 simultaneously. This will be a solution that will have, which will be a common solution or a unique solution to the simultaneous equations. So let's look at a question. There are two equations that are given to you. Determine the value of k for which this equation has infinitely many solutions, no solution and unique solutions. If I write it, A1 is equal to 1, B1 is equal to k, C1 is equal to 2, A2 is equal to 2 minus k, B2 is equal to 1 and C2 is equal to 3. I have infinitely many solutions if A1 over A2 is equal to B1 over B2 is equal to C1 over C2. So 1 over 2 minus k is equal to k over 1 is equal to 2 by 3. If I just solve the two equations that I have, if I just look at this, k is equal to 2 by 3. If I look here, I will have 3 is equal to 4 minus 2k. If I just look here, this 3 will come here and it will be 4 minus 2k is equal to what I'll have is this thing. So if you take just solve this thing out, 2k is equal to 1, k is equal to half. So if you put the value of k as half, try putting it. If you put the value of k as half, 1 over 2 minus half. So what will be the value that will be? Look, 2 minus half gives you actually what? 2 minus half is 1.5, which is 3 by 2. So 1 over 3 by 2, which will give you actually the value of 2 by 3 equals to 2 by 3. If you put the value of k is equal to half in this equation, half over 1, this is actually 1 by 2 equal to 2 by 3. So the value of k is equal to half does not satisfy this thing. And if you put k is equal to 2 by 3, it does not satisfy this thing. So there is no value of k for which I am getting infinite many solutions. No solutions a1 over a2 is equal to b1 over b2 not equal to c1 over c2. If I again write 1 over 2 minus k equals to k over 1 not equal to 2 by 3. So if I just look at these two equations, I'll have k into 2 minus k is equal to 1. It will be a quadratic that I will have. 2k minus k square is equal to 1. I need to solve the quadratic. How you need to solve the quadratic? If you don't know at this point of time, I'll ask you that you will understand it when you will do the topic of quadratic, which will be the next lecture. So hold on, we just need to solve the quadratic that you will learn and you will get the value of k. The only thing that you need to check is when you put back that value of k, that should not turn out to be equal to 2 by 3. If after putting the value of k, the equation turns out to be equal to 2 by 3, it will again be a wrong answer. That means there is no such value of k for which you are getting a no solution case. Unique solution. a1 over a2 is not equal to b1 over b2. So 1 over 2 minus k is not equal to k over 1. So that means what you have to do, 2 minus k into k is not equal to 1. So you have to again solve it in a form of quadratic. Find out the value of k where this equation is not equal to 1, and that will be the value which will give you an answer where it turns out to be a unique solution. Let's look at another case. You will not get a quadratic here, so you will be able to exactly solve out for the value of k. Determine the value of k for which the equation has infinite solutions. Infinite solution means a1 over a2 is equal to b1 over b2 is equal to c1 over c2. So 5 by 10 is equal to 2 by 4 is equal to k by 3. This is 1 by 2, this is 1 by 2. So this is also equal to 1 by 2. The value of k you will get is at 6. Thank you so much for watching the presentation. We have covered the topic of linear. Please move to the next presentation, which is lecture number 3 on quadratic equations. You can also move to our website edusathi.com and find more practice questions on the topic of linear equations. All the best.